Hi everybody, it's Jessie Dujari from Healing Pathwalkers again. I'm writing this video because I was talking with my husband a little bit about the earlier video I posted about toxic people, what to do when you encounter toxic people. And he felt like it didn't actually cover what was the most important part. And he was totally right. So I want to do this follow-up to address the focus, right? So when we start to think about how we have toxic people in our lives, like we start to realize the impact that certain individuals, experiences, foods, toxicities, various exposures have on our energy. And we feel it because once you get into that optimum right alignment, you know what it is to feel in alignment. So stepping out of alignment is sharp, it's a contrast. Okay, so when we think of things in terms of alignment, we easily can get lost in the concept of other things are impacting me, other people are impacting me, other experiences are impacting me. But when we look at people who, for instance, there are some people who drink and smoke and they die in their 60s or earlier. And there are some who drink and smoke their whole life and live till their 90s. And they don't die of lung cancer. They, have a stroke or get hit by a bus or whatever. So what happens, why is there a difference for those two people? Well, it's about belief systems. It's about how is that person impacted by the way they believe that they're being impacted. In my earlier video, I basically was just addressing what do you do when you find yourself encountering someone who you consider to be toxic. What I didn't talk about was what does it do to you to think about that person as being toxic? Are people toxic? Is anybody really toxic? Couldn't somebody call you toxic? But wouldn't you in reality actually just be playing out your own experiences and trying to work it out, figuring it out, and sometimes there are some casualties in that war of self. So when I say, what do you do when you encounter toxic people? I still do mean stop, drop, and roll. Stop. Ground yourself out. Remember, hey, I'm a human too. I'm here. I'm incarnating. This is my life. And then connect yourself back into your right alignment. Bring yourself back into your right alignment vibrationally. Once you've accomplished that, then it's really time to start looking. All that person did was serve as a reminder of a vibration that you once held. And what it's doing is it's coming back at you like a ripple, like an effect. It's coming back at you and it's challenging you. It's saying, you used to hold this frequency. Are you done? Is this going to re-rock you? But instead, when you feel that ripple, when you feel that triggering experience, when you have that triggering thought, when somebody treats you in that way that proves true everything that you've been saying, are they really outside of you doing that? Or is it just an opportunity for you to just stay in your right alignment, redeveloping the neural pathways, the energetic pathways, the experiential pathways, of this is the way I want to go. And as the waves come, nope, this is the way. The wave can come, I don't have to go with it. I can just bob and allow the energy to dissipate. And the wave goes over you. And you stay in your alignment. The more you do this, well, first of all, you're freeing all those other people of having to participate in your wave dynamic, because you're not blaming them anymore. You're just, oh, look at that. Whew, I'm bobbing a lot right now. There's a lot of bobbing. Oh, stay in alignment. Okay. Oh, all done. But if you're not engaging with them, the wave just keeps going because it's looking for engagement. You're not engaging. You don't need that anymore in your life. It's no longer, you no longer hold anything that vibrates in alignment with that. So you've released it. It's really actually, when I see those things coming at me and I ride through it, I actually feel this like achievement, this accomplishment at how I just did that, how I did not get rocked by that experience. That doesn't mean I'm not going to get rocked by any experience, but now, whew, I see that one really clearly. So what I didn't say in the first video, which deserves to be said, is stop looking at everybody around you as though they're this toxic source of waste, human waste. This doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve them. That means that you're holding something in alignment with yourself that's willing to identify others as human waste. And that only holds you in a place where you think, I could be wasteful. I could be a waste. So remember, if you're surrounded by people who are toxic, start looking at the behaviors that they're doing that you really dislike and ask yourself, not, am I doing this to other people? Because most of us are not. But do I do it to myself? You know, I want them to listen to me. They never really listen to me. They're always, talking about themselves. They're always doing their own problem. They never call me up and say, how is your problem? How am I doing with that? Well, how often do you pause, come back with yourself and ask yourself, how you doing? Is this filling you up with joy? Do you feel safe? Are you happy? If you're not asking yourself those questions, why are you expecting somebody else to? That's you externalizing. So you gather people around you that don't ask you these questions. They're the ones you invest in, and you try to force them to prove to you, right, that it's not true that somebody loves me. Somebody will check in with me. But they never do, because that's really what's being proved true, because you are not checking in with you. So if you hold the feeling, the idea, and my first video, I entitled it Toxic People, What to Do When You Encounter Toxic People, because I know that that's the viewpoint that so many of us hold in this community, that others are toxic to us. But how toxic are we to ourselves? What's your negative self-talk like? What kind of things do you say to yourself? Do you ever tell yourself how proud you are of what you've accomplished? Do you ever pause and marvel at how far you've come? Do you ever think of what a dream was that you held last month and check in to see where are you at in the completion of that dream? Or have you released the dream because you evolved? These are the questions you're hoping somebody else wants to ask you, but you don't even want to ask you. This is what I mean when I say shift your perspective from somebody else being toxic to looking at yourself a little bit more. And it's not about releasing a blame or anything like that, because once you go in that realm, you're really in the place of lack. You're really focusing on what is not there. And it's not there because you don't hold it there. You need to hold it in yourself. You need to bring it into your vibration. If you feel like nobody cares about you, do you care about you? What would it look like for somebody else to care about you and start doing that for you? If it's buying you flowers, taking you out somewhere nice, buying you a sweet dinner, if it's making a bubble bath with candles, if it's drawing a beautiful picture for you, you do it for you. A good friend of mine once said, you have to be your own grandmother, your own lover, your own boyfriend, your own mother, your own best friend, before anybody else can be it for you. No truer words have I ever heard. I love that. Okay, so that's my thoughts on toxic people. I haven't met too many that I would qualify as toxic, but I have mine who give me a lot of triggers, a lot of opportunities for growth. And when I feel strong enough and when I feel ready, I engage. And when I don't, I don't. That's me taking care and caring about me. I hope that helps. And I'd love to know if any of you guys have any questions or comments about toxic people, how you've chosen to handle that concept and those people that you once identify that way or still identify that way. I think all of us have amazing stories of survival. And I think all of us are these really powerful, strong, brave people. Let's start remembering that. All right. Thank you.